When news first came of the Thomas Merton Center inviting me to introduce Dr. Angela Y. Davis's speech to the center and its friends, I confess long moments of disbelief. That's because, like you all, I've heard or read news reports of FBI files on the center, marked to its counterterrorism files. I remember thinking, well, if they ain't in the files by inviting Angela Davis and myself to speak, they certainly are now. This is actually old hat to your 2006 Merton Award recipient, for she has had the dubious distinction of being publicly labeled a terrorist by an American president. Of course, that president was Tricky Dick Richard Nixon. So it's a lot like President Bush calling someone stupid. Friends, sisters, brothers of the Thomas Merton Center, a group that works hard every day for peace and social justice, your award recipient, Professor Angela Y. Davis, has been a central figure in so many progressive social movements that it is truly difficult to think of one where she has not played a substantial and significant role. The student movement, the Black liberation movement, the feminist movement, the socialist movement, the anti-war movement, the gay rights movement, the prison abolition movement. Unless you're a devotee of Professor Davis's writings, that last one probably threw you a bit. Prison abolition? Yep. In 2003, Seven Stories Press and Open Media put out her book, Is the Prison Obsolete?, where she examines the long, tortured history of the prison system, and as usual, she hits the issues on the head. I remember talking to my sister, a fervent Pan-Africanist, who, after she read Professor Davis's book, remarked, "It was very interesting, Moo, but prison abolition? I don't know about that. You got some crazy dudes in there, and out here." That's my sister. But it gives you some sense of the foresight and farsight of a woman like Professor Davis, who is always moving forward, asking questions, probing, looking into the darkness before us and peering for the light. Sisters, brothers, friends, may I respectfully suggest that for those of you who have not yet done so, please read the works of Professor Davis. Might I suggest her 1998 compilation, The Angela Davis Reader, edited by the brilliant Joy James and published by Blackwell Publishers of Malden, Massachusetts. Here one finds essays and articles from her earliest days, as fresh and as insightful as the day they were written, including later works of political and cultural analyses. Reading it, I felt like I had gone back to school, for the learning was exquisite. Her later works, like the aforementioned Is the Prison Obsolete?, also bear reading and study, as well as a recent set of interviews entitled Abolition Democracy, Beyond Prison, Torture, and Empire, interviews with Angela Y. Davis, published by Seven Stories last year. Here she discusses with depth and clarity the times we live in under the depredations of the Bush regime. She also argues for what she terms abolition democracy, one drawn from the brightest history of America, from the abolition movement of the past, which gives us models of possibility into the present, to tap into that which Lincoln so eloquently called the better angels of our nature. Dear friends, I thank you all for the opportunity to introduce a singularly brilliant student, teacher, activist, scholar, cultural analyst, and critic, and constant thinker, Dr. Angela Y. Davis, tenured professor at the University of California at Santa Cruz, and distinguished recipient of the Presidential Chair in African American and Feminist Studies at the University of California. She has been both witness and participant in some of the most liberating modern movements of human liberation. It is my pleasure and my honor to present to you your 2006 Merton Award recipient, Dr. Angela Y. Davis.